Hello everyone, the Army of Otters here, and welcome back to the Unexplored Mojave. Today we're going to be checking out construction site, which is obviously some kind of construction site for a research facility within the Big MT. Not sure what it was, but this location is pretty small. It has some kind of tough enemies and some interesting loot. So let's waste no more time and let's jump into it. So construction site is located just northwest of Little Yangtze in the northwesternmost corner of the map. Now, as you approach, it might appear to be empty. As you can see, I was approaching here, and well, I couldn't really find anything. But there are some wooden crates that you might want to check out. But eventually, you're going to see this construction drone foreman, and then just construction drones. Obviously, the foremans are the ones in charge. Now, I actually found these construction drones to be somewhat difficult. Now, there was also a Mr. Handy here, but he was actually pretty easy to take out. On this middle kind of like concrete block, there is a footlocker, which contains random ammunition. Always check the footlockers in Big MT because they often have ammunition. But as I was saying, the construction drones were a bit difficult to fight just because they had a lot of health. However, they're not very good at aiming or shooting or dealing damage. So just kind of a troublesome enemy. Now, throughout the construction site, you're going to find these big red crystals. And I'm not actually sure what they are. After some research, a lot of people think they're actually wolfenite, which is kind of a bright orange, yellow to red-orange crystals, which match the color of these crystals. Also, if you have Wild Wasteland perk and you go down in this little ditch, you can find 7 gnomes with pickaxes and lanterns, obviously mining the crystals. And of course, this is an Easter egg to the 19th century Brothers Grimm fairy tale, Snow White, along with the 1912 Broadway play adaptation, and of course the 1937 animated film by Disney. And if we head on to the back of construction site, we can kind of find this collapsed antenna, and next to this we can find a holotape. There's a skeleton right next to me here, and we can pick up this holotape, which is a sink upgrade for water production. Basically, if you give empty bottles to the sink, it'll give you back purified water. Now over here, I didn't find any mention of this. I found it pretty humorous. We can find a skeleton with some blood splattered from a boulder. Clearly this poor, maybe worker, was killed by a falling boulder. So, yeah, very sad, very unfortunate. Now in the middle, we have this giant crane, and you can actually climb to the top, and actually you kind of want to because there's some good loot at the very top. So just walk along, come up here, and then we can find the valence radii accentuator. I can say it right. And then there's also a wooden crate with random loot inside. Also, you get a pretty beautiful view from the top here, so make sure to check it out. Alright everyone, that pretty much covers construction site. Like I said, this is kind of a small area, and who knows what they are building here, or who knows what those red crystals are for. Do you guys have any theories? Let me know in the comments section below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any recommendations for future videos, future ideas, please post them in the comment section below. And as always, until next time.